Hey friend, how's it going? Thomas Decker here from GuitarRevolution.ca. Today I want to talk to you about bending technique. Yesterday was October 1st, 2025, and I had a live on my free community. And if you're not part of this free Guitar Revolution community membership, you have access just here on this video. The description of this video, you can have completely free access to a community of over 200 guitarists, and where I do lives every once in a while. There is a free training for you, like a course, one of my best-selling course, probably my best-selling course, completely free for you there. And yesterday was a day of a live, and I worked so much on, getting people in and organizing it, and maybe I worked too much. I was pretty tired when I got there. And I am in Brazil right now. And talking to people from US, I need to be up later. Late in the day, it was 9 o'clock. It's not too late, but it was late for me. Anyways, I did the live. I had one guy coming. I should be very frustrated. I was a little frustrated, actually, afterwards. I'm gonna be doing this again next week. I'm hoping more people will show up, and I'm gonna do more often. So I think people will be more present. I'm actually excited. I think it's a good start having you here. When it was happening, it was all in, happy. His name is Roger, and a 60-year-old guitar player that played guitar for his whole life, 50 years, he told me. And his dream is to, play lead guitar freely, be able to play his guitar, express himself through his guitar, soloing and improvising. By the way, if you hear some knocking, some noises here, there's some construction going on my neighbor's house, so I'm sorry about that. Anyways, I was talking to him, and this is a lot of my students are like that. Maybe you are someone on your 60s, retiring, and your dream of playing guitar from the 70s comes back because now you have time and money and guitars. A lot of you have walls of guitars that I envy so much, but he still could not bend the strings enough. And that made me think, man, this guy, he's been playing guitar for 50 years. And his one thing that he really wants, he can't do it, that is bend one step or half step or whatever it is and sound great. He said, man, I tried for years. I've been trying, and it just sucks. Either if I am at home practicing or jamming with friends, it seems like I can never get it right. So I thought, well, man, I wasn't going to make a video today, but I thought, maybe I can do this video and someone out there will listen and I can help. And, maybe this person can come on my next live. It'll be next week, by the way, on Wednesday. So I decided, I'll make a video off the cuff here. Don't have a script. It's just coming out of my head as I go. So just using one camera. I don't want to do editing. That takes so long. So I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna talk to you here. Try to be as authentic and straightforward as I can. I never talk about what I'm using here. This is a 1989 American Stratocaster Deluxe Plus. It has Wilkinson rollers here, have a locking mechanism here. And this bridge is pretty cool. So I think is a stainless steel, lasts forever. The pickups are noiseless lace sensors. Everything original from the 80s except the pickguard. I changed the pickguard. It was white, as everything else is white. But I decided, I think black will look better, and it does. And I lost a tone knob here playing a gig once. I don't know how it fell, but it did, and I never saw it again. But well, I'll just leave it like that. Anyways, let's talk about bending technique. Oh, and I'm plugging straight to my interface and using ToneX for my tones. Lately, that's all I've been using, ToneX. Not even After Effects or anything, just straight ToneX. Really good. So bending. Bending, one of my professors once told me that if you bend flat, it's just like having, if your bend is flat, it's just like having a tone deaf singer singing. And that made me think, because I also sing. So I decided to work and started to work on my bending, right? My problem is when I bend, I'm scared of sounding flat. So let's say I have E over, improvising on the pentatonic of E here, most famous of all, right? And I'm doing here, this phrase here where I have E, F sharp, which is the second, and I want to bend this note to G sharp. So what I'm gonna do, what the exercise you can do is hold your F sharp there, your finger 2 or 3, and bend until you feel like sounding good, and then you match with actually note with your finger 1 on the B string, the G sharp. That's pretty good, right? That was a little off. That's flat. But you see, that's all about ear training. You gotta train your ears to understand where is the next note on the scale. That if you wanna do a full step bend, right? Because there are different bends you can do. There, I guess. A little too much, right? So I'm hitting the third, major third there. G sharp is the major third of E, which makes it major, right? I can do a half step to the blue note. Like I'm sliding here. I'm going a little too much, right? But especially if I'm doing fast, if I'm bending the notes fast, I don't really need to reach that note perfectly. So if you go up and down on the pitch, now I can hear it was flat. But our ears it's not fast enough for us to notice, oh, that's too flat. If I bend and hold, that's a different story, right? Then you really need to get the pitch pretty close, as close as you can. But this fast bending, it can be half step, can be half and a quarter to 2 half steps, or a whole tone, right? Whole step. And then I can do quarter tones here. Quarter step, right? Or whatever you call it. So here's a good spot for you to practice this. Over the pentatonic, right now I'm doing an E because I like to get that on the background. So I get, and a major pentatonic, your pinky over the root, play the most famous of all. That's a good exercise for you. The bends don't need to be long. If you want to play a longer bend, then you better get that perfect, right? I really like on a still major scenario, let's say A major, and I am here on the D shape. So I'm playing the D shape over frets 9 and 10. Finger 1, 2 on fret 9, string G and E, plus my middle finger or ring finger on the B string, fret 10. Right here is our root, that's A. So this is the 5th, root, 3rd, okay? So if I want to play here, I can do it like this. Finger 1 now, where here's A. Here's the 2nd, which is B. And then I can bend all the way to my 3rd, right? Major 3rd, C sharp. There I have here on figure 1, I'm stretching finger 1 on the fret 9 for C sharp until I match it. That was too much. That's kind of good, right? But again, you can make your bending a little faster, and that doesn't require you to hit the pitch perfectly, right? It just gives that kind of mention of the major 3rd there, or that note C sharp. Sounds great. So I think those two is where I use mostly on the major. I like a lot going back to E major. Oops, that was a augmented 4th. So here, going back to the pentatonic here, okay? So I'm holding my pinky and my B string here, and then this note here is where we bend to the major, right? So take a look what I like to do. It's like very like a steel bender kind of line. So I'm playing the root, I'm playing the 5th, the 2nd, and then I bend the 2nd all the way to the major 3rd. So it sounds like a pedal steel, right? And this helps you to also tune your band. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm always using more than one finger to bend my string. In this case here, I'm using 1, 2, 3. Why? Because you need the support. Especially when you're using your finger 3, because your finger 3 is not strong naturally. It's probably the weakest one in your hand. So you need your finger 1 and 2 bending along, okay? Stretching that string. And you can go over just to test it out, right? My kid is crying now. Homeschooling, sometimes we have that. Horrible, but at least you're exercising that, right? So I really like that, okay? There are different ways you can bend, different options of half steps too that are easier. If you're using still E major here, the half steps you have here that I like to do on the E and B strings, well, instead of using finger 1 and 4 here, I like to throw my 3 here because I'm throwing a note from the major scale of the major 7th. right? It sounds pretty. Now I bend even my finger 3, but my finger 2 is right behind. You see there? Another one that I like is right here, my finger 1. If I go half step here, I have note A, which is the 4th of E major. I don't need to use my finger 1, I can just, right? I usually don't do, I don't know, maybe the high one. No, I just use those, you know, those are expressive enough for me. So now I'm using the major scale, right? Finger 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1. And that breaks also that sound of the pentatonic ringing all the time, right? If you want to have a little different flavor on your playing E, then I reach here, fret 11 on the E, bend half step, go down the pentatonic, then again here finger half step, one step, and do like that. So again. And you can just play around this, you don't need to play note by note. Just understand the concept, right? I'm bending half. Garbage. And then, right? Simple enough. Half steps plus the full step. I think that's a good example for you to practice there. And I don't know. Let's take a look at the minor now. Minor is a very good option too. E minor, because I like that E ring in the back. Now think of E minor, G major, right? So pentatonic again, because that's our spine, our core, right? As guitar players. So E minor, fret 12, finger 1. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, with blue note if you want. Okay. Now, we can do a bunch of stuff here too. The same spot that we were doing for the major on the G string. So pretty, right? Here's pretty cool, like we're hanging on the 4th here, which is A. Go back to the minor 3rd, which is G. But here I'm just giving that micro bending, right? Oops. It feels like you're hanging there, right? And then you can rest on the minor 3rd if you want. That's another thing that Roger told me. It seems that every time I'm soloing, I'm going back to the root. And that gets old pretty quick. You don't need to go back to the root. You can, if you want, hang there to create tension. Some bending, B note, B string note, and it's a B. And I go back to the root, but I could stay here. The minor 3rd on the G string. Yeah, not as stable as the root, but very good. There's nothing wrong with that. Another band that he told me he likes is the minor third here, micro bending to the root. Right, I'm not really reaching the major third. Finger 1 on G, right? I'm just like creating a movement. I don't know, I don't even know how to explain this, but it's just a third moving towards the back on the root. Let me see. Yeah, better go back to the root, right? So, just on G string, let's see. Rubato. Now I went a little higher. Right, and I bend. Little bends. And I'm just being creative here, okay? I don't have like a lick. I'm using these, connecting these things that we know, and just, I don't know, creating some phrases, right? I can rest there, and then I'm gonna bend a little more on my finger 2, finger 3. And then I bend on the finger 1, 2. Right? Went full bend to B, note B. Right? And a little bend on the G string, finger 1. So it just like, it creates movement there too. This is on this shape. And you can test that out in different shapes too. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be expressive. And with time, with practice, with being not only with intentionality, you'll be able to play better with more, like tune better your bands, be more creative with them. It's such a great tool for electric guitar players like us. Again, this is the kind of stuff I do on my private community, which is free for you. If you click the link below, you're gonna have access to a course called Lead Guitar Essentials. No, Lead Guitar Series, that. Lead Guitar Series. Have 8 chapters on that one. You can go through it for free. You have the community there. You can ask questions. You can participate on the live. If you like this kind of stuff, you like to ask and, you know, ask questions and communicate and be direct communication with me, that's the place. And I hope this will help you too. Roger, thank you so much for showing up last night. It was great. But Roger, it's good to meet you. Hope to see you again next week. And I hope to see you guys in there too. If not, thank you so much for watching this video. And hope to see you in the next one. See you then.